Top of the morning, good people. So I just dropped off my daughter, who was blessed to hear another one of Mom's in the car sermons. And my children will tell you that almost daily they get in touch with the Lord as I pick them up or drop them off from school, So, but anyway, this morning in particular, we were talking about black women and just the tenacity with which black women have lived their lives and carried themselves throughout the history in the United States of America. And for my 3 black daughters to not go through their life allowing society to tell them that they are at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to beauty, or less intelligent, or that they are promiscuous breeding machines, or that they're ignorant or loud or angry black women. But in fact, much of our society, much of this nation has been carried on the backs of black women. And we can go way, way back to slavery and just what black women went through during slavery. I mean, if you think about the psychological impact of slavery on the black woman, who has had to become the head of the black family, unfortunately, in many situations, all the while not being able to process her own trauma and the things that she has been forced to endure as a black female in America. I mean, the black slave woman, one would have, they were breeding the women, that, getting nice, big, strong women. If you look at how they sold and the prices that women were sold for, if they were breeding machines or built a certain kind of way, they went for more money because they knew that they were going to be able to process through this woman most slaves, right? They were going to be healthy and viable cotton pickers or whatever. But this woman, in the process of that, one, probably being raped by the plantation owner or somebody on the plantation, may or may not have been allowed to get married to someone she actually had feelings for, may have been, even if she was married, she still might have been bred off to someone else, another slave, that they felt that the combination of those two people would have made a stronger baby. And then once she had the baby, there was no promise that she was going to be able to keep the baby. So the trauma of having a child, being raped, being molested, being beaten, being treated as less than a human, not being able to rest and settle into your role as a mother or a wife, having your child snatched from your own bosom and sold to another slave owner, all the while being forced to wet nurse your white owner's child with, against your will, only to have this child that you wet nursed with the milk that was intended for your child grow up and become your master. Tell me that won't have an effect on your brain, on your mind, on your emotions, on your spirit. And then tell me how you turn around and love your children, and how you turn around and love your spouse, and how you have healthy generations after that, when that has just been recycled and regurgitated in different ways in the black community. The dysfunction, the disunity, the dismemberment of the family and the structure of the family. So what I was telling my daughter on the way to school during Black History Month is, don't you ever let anybody tell you that as a black woman you are weak, or you are ignorant, or you are trifling, or you are nasty or ugly or any of those things. Because listen, you are the pillar of this nation. You are one of the pillars of this nation. On your back and on the backs of the women in your lineage, much of what has gone forth in this nation has gone forth through some praying black women, through some educated black women, through some black women with a servant's heart that endured trials, that suffered persecution, that sat on the bus and refused to stand up, that spoke out and reclaimed their time. Come on, somebody. So don't you allow anybody to just pop up a video of a twerking butt or a Beyonce or whoever else slithering on the ground and say that's all you are. I think not. I don't think so. We are entrepreneurs. We are educators. We are business owners. We are pastors. We are leaders. We are politicians. We are mothers. We are whatever we want to be, astronauts. Come on, somebody. So it's like, don't allow your daughters, don't allow your sons to go around calling your daughters the B word, or treating your black sister or your black niece or anybody less than what they are qualified to be called. And please don't let your children carry themselves that way. My word. My kids melt almost into the ground when I'm around their little friends of games and stuff. Because as soon as I hear somebody pop off with the N-word or calling a girl a B, I'm like, I'm going to have to say something. Young man, come here. And thus comes the history lesson. And the little boy or the little girl just look at me like, yes, ma'am, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. But they don't know because they don't know. It's not taught. It is not taught. And if we as parents do not require our own children to recognize the richness of our own culture, how can we be mad when they don't teach it in the school? We're not teaching it in our own home. So pull out your book and we get the Madam C.J. Walkers out. Get the Mary McLeod Bethunes and the Rosa Parks. We all know Rosa, but dig even deeper than that. Go way, way back. Who was the first female astronaut? Who was the first female attorney in the South? Who was the first female politician? Who was the first woman to run for president? And no, it was not Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was the first female nominee, but she was not the first female to run for president. Do you know who that was? She was black. Blackity black at that. Anywho, so I'm just saying this to say, this is my morning rant. Please, please, please do yourself, your children, your sons, your future granddaughters a favor and honor black women. All black women. Dark ones, light ones, and high bright ones, okay? We all come from a cloth that has been torn, but is woven together with strength and dignity and perseverance. And that is something that we should both celebrate and embrace. We don't tolerate our blackness, we celebrate it, because it does not define who we are, but it is a strong, strong part of who we are. And we come from a people who have endured think about what black people have endured, not just in America. Think about it. We have endured atrocities that go often even unaddressed or unspoken or unrepented of. So within our own community, let's try to celebrate the fact that we are still here, we are thriving, we are overcoming, and the future is blackity black, black, black. Celebrate your blackness, people. It's Black History Month, but we know that the month shall continue into the year until we get to a point where black history is seen as American history and is taught as such. Peace.